I just went on a 1 mile run. It felt absolutely amazing. If you didn't know, I used to play soccer. I was a center forward, and sometimes I did some, midfield work. I also ran track and field. I used to do some of the cross country runs, so like the 400 and the 800 depending. And then I also did the 4x1, the 4x4 and high jump, but you're only allowed to compete in 4 things. So I kind of alternated depending on whether or not they had like well-trained cross country runners. But nonetheless, I just feel like I started off my morning really great. So I'm gonna make myself a coffee and we're gonna get into a little chat. You are a strong woman. You are a strong Black woman. This is something that has been told to me throughout the past 2 decades of my life. I'm only 30, and I just started the 3rd decade, but this is something that has been told to me all throughout my life. And I posted about this on my Substack. I think I wrote an article talking about how, people look at me and they're like, oh my God, you've been through so much and you're still able to achieve and excel and surpass, just live and function in life and have so many like great accolades and achievements. And on one hand, it's like, wow, I'm really blown away by the fact that you were able to conquer all these things and still become someone who is able to function in society and is moderately successful. And on the other hand, in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't feel like that's a good thing. And it's because I have to deal or actually know the emotional side of what comes from being the strong, independent woman. And I think it's really toxic. There's this personality and perception that people have of you when you are this strong, independent person, and they're less likely to offer help to you because one, they either think that if they offer help to you, it's probably not going to be the type of help you want because they perceive you to be a perfectionist, or they perceive you to be extremely particular, matter of fact, whatever, controlling. They likely don't think you need help because you're so strong and independent and capable of doing things on your own. And they don't even know how to approach you in providing help because you don't come off as someone who would receive it. And those are the things that someone who is strong, independent woman gives off. You give off this energy of like, I don't need help, I can do it myself. I've been doing it myself. I do want things done in a particular way because there's this level of perfectionism that people place on me that I'm trying to uphold. Why? I won't know until I sit down and actually dissect it. And I am sitting down and actually dissecting it. Not in this forum, but I have sat down and thought about it by myself, with God, with my therapist, and really asked myself, like, why is it so hard for me to receive help? Even now, like stepping into marriage, right? My fiance, throughout this juncture of us dating, throughout the lifespan of us dating, he would constantly like fight me to help me, not like in a bad way, but for example, carrying my groceries or something like that. So used to carrying it by myself, so used to just doing it by myself, it's become second nature that when he comes over and is like, oh, let me carry it, I'm like, no, it's okay, I got it. In that moment, it's because like it's just a part of me having to operate in society alone and having to do so many things by myself that I wouldn't think to just leave it for you to take it, because I haven't had those moments in my life where I could just leave something and depend on someone to do that for me. That's part of the reason why I'm sitting down and like confronting this independent strong woman thing, is because it doesn't allow for me to receive the help, the love, the care, the nurture that my fiance is so beyond capable of doing, because I psychologically just cannot accept it. I believe that society and culture, specifically in America, thrives off of people being like hyper independent. And that's how this caricature, I will call it, of a strong independent woman or strong independent Black woman has come about, in part just like society isolating you to learn how to function by yourself and be alone, and stripping you away from your community so that it becomes this normalized thing within yourself and outwardly with the people around you. So people are less likely to ask for help and you're less likely to ask for help. And you just get into this system of always operating, doing things on your own. Throughout the past couple months, my fiance has been working really hard to just like continue to showcase to me, and he again has done this throughout our entire dating life cycle, continue to showcase to me how he's here. He's willing to help me with whatever I want to help with. Like this morning I woke up, went on a run, made myself a coffee, and we're painting one of the guest bedrooms. And I painted this room myself because I wanted to like document the process and stuff like that. And he did help me with like the priming and all that, but maybe it's the perfectionist in me. The thing about Roman clay is it has to be similar strokes. So I was like, let me just do it myself. But the other guest room, he's like painting it right now. And he's like, I'm gonna do it for you, don't worry. And he woke up, started painting, and that was pretty much it. So it's getting a lot easier for me to accept help and not fall into this typical pit of like, I don't need help from anyone because I'm a strong and independent woman. You can be independent and still receive help. You can be strong and have endured a lot, and even then you should be getting more help because the burdens that you've had to carry are so great. Allow the people in your community to help you alleviate that. Another example, I have a friend, her name's Amina. God obviously sent her to me, is my personal feeling. I don't have a car right now, and sometimes I have to like drive far away for like work to go into the office or go to client meetings or whatever. And every single time I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going here, blah, blah, blah. The first thing she says is like, oh, how are you getting there? I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna rent a car, or I'll use my fiance's car. She's like, oh, just take my car, I'm out of town. Like, I don't care. And like force that help onto me. Doesn't even allow me to reject it. And she's always telling me like, God wants your life to be easy, he doesn't want it to be hard. And I know you're so used to being in this like space of things being hard, but it's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be easier than what it has been for you. So let people help you. And you know, having friends tell me that, not just her, but like cousins, so many of my friends, having friends tell me that and recognize that makes it a lot easier for me to just accept and receive. I mentioned going back to therapy because I think it's important to go and look back at your previous experiences at different moments in your life. When I was in my mid-20s or mid to early 20s, whatever, and I was like going through the process of losing my father and talking about that in therapy, when I look back at it now, I felt like those moments of talking about it were survival. It was like, okay, what can we do to help you through this grief so that you can function in society like a normal person, so that you can accept that people come and they go, so you can accept the cycle of life. That is what I felt like I was in therapy for. I didn't really work through anything else and really address like the sense of abandonment when you lose a parent that young and it's very abrupt and out of nowhere. I was a teenager when my father passed away, and so it's something that I didn't really sit down and like, what, I was 20 years old, 19, 20 years old, going like in therapy talking about losing my father. It wasn't really like these are the things that happened in my childhood. It was more so, this is what this person meant to me and what tools can I set in place to like move forward from this pain. And it, you know, helped. It helped obviously because I'm a functioning individual and I'm generally happy in life. Like I am very happy. I love life. So let's just start there. But now that I'm 30 and going into a marriage, talking about my childhood and different experiences and really like my mind, I feel like everyone says 25, your brain fully is developed. No, I feel like 30, my brain is fully developed and so many things are far more clear to me than when I was originally discussing certain topics in my life. And also being a Christian now, dissecting those moments in my life from a faith-based approach, from a Christian-based approach, makes it a lot easier for me to understand why I had certain reactions that led me to be who I am and where I am today. So if you feel as though you have similar experiences and you're in this like cycle of like the strong independent woman, one, don't let society continue to push you into this box of isolation where you are independently doing absolutely everything by yourself. There is no shame in asking for help. Perfectionism isn't real because nothing and no one is perfect, in my opinion, apart from Jesus Christ. So yeah, just ask. And I am still, it's a work in progress for me, but I am getting a lot better with just being like, yeah, right now I'm planning a trip with my friend for my birthday, and I wish my fiance could go, but he can't. But I'm planning a trip with my friend, and normally I would just, you know, like pay for the Airbnb because I'm like, oh, this is my thing, so I should just like pay for it. And I was like, you know what? I'm planning a wedding right now. I cannot afford to take on this cost. So I asked them, I was like, can you please? And they were like, what? I wasn't even expecting you to pay for this. So there's a lot of things too that you kind of just like put on yourself as this independent woman that you don't have to do. You self-assign so much extra burdens onto yourself. And I don't know if it's this book that I'm reading, but my therapist has me reading the book Boundaries. okay? And I don't know if it's this, but I do believe that this in therapy is helping me as well, because in having boundaries too, I think it makes it so much easier for you to ask for help when things are too big. It says when to say yes, how to say no, to take control of your life. And it just talks about like obviously when you should say yes, when you should say no, what it means to receive help from people, when it's necessary to get help, or when it's necessary to help others. So I'm, drawing boundaries and realizing I don't need to take responsibility for like every little thing, and I can share responsibility with people in my community who are so willing to help me. This video felt more like a dumping session, but I hope you found something in it helpful. I don't know, I just feel like I'm in a really good place emotionally and mentally, and I generally always am because I'm a mentally strong person. Like I can endure a lot, but it's nice to be able to recognize certain things and want to work towards like dismantling those personality types. And the other thing too that I started to really think about, and this is what I was saying with going to therapy like later in life, is I started thinking, okay, if I had a child right now, would I want my child to see me in this way? Would I want my child to believe that they shouldn't ask for help? Would I want my child to think like it's too overbearing for them to ask me, their mother, for help? Or like, what would I want my child to feel in this moment or in any moment? What would I not want them to see? I wouldn't want my kids to see me like never receiving help, or someone asking to help me with a simple task and then they develop this hyper independence. It starts from childhood, okay? Kids, they get personalities from like 3, 4, 5 years old because of what they see, because of their environment. I took child psychology, and beyond that, I work in psychiatry. And when I read about depression and childhood stress and trauma and how that really creates who you are as an adult and how hard it is to dismantle those characteristics, I refuse. And again, maybe it's because I do work in psychiatry and I think about all these things, but I'm like, oh my God, I would not want my children to see any of this, because they're gonna grow up to have the same issues as me, going through life feeling like you have to carry a boulder on your back and there's nobody in this world who will share the load with you. I rebuke that. Ew, no, not gonna happen. So that's why I'm taking time to really like sit and think and ask myself like, okay, Miss Girl, you need to, And I'm just grateful that God sent me like the most patient partner in the world, who's just like, yeah, all these things that you're telling me, I already knew, sweetie. But I'm here for you, love you, support you through it all. And that's great. So yeah, anyway, have a good morning. No, I'm kidding. But I do hope you found this video helpful. And if you're in the starting place like me and dismantling this like strong, independent woman narrative or feeling, life is not supposed to be that way. Life is not supposed to be you doing everything by yourself because you never had the chance or opportunity to depend on people around you. That's what that is. You became this strong, independent woman out of circumstance, out of survival. Get out of survival. Allow people to help you. And that's it. I hope you guys have a really good morning, and I will see you in the next video.